In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis to receive another vaccine shipment on Thursday. Staff and residents of Her Majesty's Prison fully recovered from COVID-19, and St. Kitts and Nevis moves forward to empower differently abled persons. The details on these stories and more after the break.
Hold on, stop. Think about the drink before you take a drop. Read up on the label on the back. They say it's ain't sugar, low in fat, but don't be fooled by that. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody you're sweet enough.
Use BioCare Lab Strong Ends products to supercharge your hair with deep lasting hydration from nature's most amazing moisturizers, raw moisturizing honey, and conditioning shea butter. These ingredients pull moisture from the hair to boost, strengthen, and restore the oldest and weakest parts of your hair, your ends, helping to keep them stronger. Wow, beautiful hair. Strong Ends. Dry, damaged, breaking hair, and no hair growth? Strong ends? Whoa! I'm not cutting this hair for anything. Weak, thinning edges due to weaves and braids. Strong ends? Longer and free of split ends. Get supercharged from roots to end with BioCare Lab Strong Ends Honey and Shea Butter Infused Relaxer and Hair Growth Product. Available retail at CNC Superfoods on the Bay Road and wholesale at CNC Trading on the CAP Southville Industrial Park. Telephone 465-4081.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Caleb Barrage. St. Kitts and Nevis will receive another shipment of COVID-19 vaccines on Thursday. According to Minister of Health, Honorable Akila Barron-Nisbet, the Federation will receive 11,700 doses of the Pfizer vaccines from the United States through a donation to CARICOM.
I think we would remember that CARICOM would have reached out to the U.S., engaging them on being able to share some of their supply of vaccines, considering that the Caribbean is one of their closest countries, and we have so many persons that go in between both the U.S. and the CARICOM countries. The idea is that no one's safe until everyone's safe, and so CARICOM would have said to them that, considering that most of your people come to the Caribbean and vice versa, most of the persons on the Caribbean go to the U.S., it might just be thoughtful for you to be able to provide us with the vaccines that we need to make sure that everyone is safe and that we can get back to a level of normalcy fast.
She said the government has already secured the necessary cold storage equipment for the Pfizer vaccine, which has specific requirements.
So we've already had a donation of a -80 refrigerator, which is required to store the vaccines from the St. Kitts Biomedical Research Foundation, as well as the COVID-19 Pfizer vaccine racks needed to house the vials of the vaccine in. And so as we speak, we are getting that prepared at the central medical stores to make sure that we have everything in place for the arrival of those vaccines.
The shipment is expected to arrive via FedEx at the RLB International Airport at 12:15. Minister Barron-Nisbet says this will be the first of 3 batches of vaccines totaling 35,100 doses. The Police High Command has announced that all staff members and residents of Her Majesty's Prison who were ill with COVID-19 have recovered. A press release on Tuesday said, quote, there are now 0 positive cases of the COVID-19 virus at Her Majesty's Prison after a member of staff was cleared by health authorities on Monday. All members of staff and residents have had negative results in 2 subsequent tests, which indicate that they have fully recovered from the virus. According to the release, the management will continue to take the steps necessary to protect the health of every member of staff and resident and encourage them to get vaccinated, as it is deemed one of the best defenses against the virus. St. Kitts and Nevis continues to move forward with plans and programs to enhance the protection and empowerment of differently abled citizens, residents and visitors. Officials from the Department of Social Development and the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Culture were among regional delegates who participated virtually in the special ministerial conference for specific legislation for persons with disabilities in the Caribbean. The meeting was held on July 27th and 28th. As it stands, 6 countries within CARICOM have established specific legislation to protect differently abled persons. These are Antigua and Barbuda, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Cayman Islands, Guyana, Haiti and Jamaica. Representatives from these countries were able to share their experiences and best practices during the meeting. Director of Policy Planning and Projects Unit within the Ministry of Social Development, Azela Clark, said this was a high point of the special 2-day conference. Quote, "It gave us access to networks to find out what countries have in place so that we can take a look at it and consider what is best to include in the formulation of a regional bill. We also learned what some of their challenges are in terms of enforcement, compliance, and structures to conduct monitoring and evaluation." Ms. Clark stated that the government is committed to improving the lives and opportunities for the vulnerable in society, and differently abled individuals are high on the agenda. Sean Seabrooks, who represented the Ministry of Sport, Youth and Culture, said that the participants agreed to the development of a special template for specific legislation to protect the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities. The template gives a clear indication of the essential features to be included in the specific legislation. The regional template is expected to help member states draft national legislation to be implemented. The government is providing a stipend for the next 6 months to households with differently abled children as part of a stimulus measure to bring relief from the fallout of the global COVID-19 pandemic. We now take a look at the latest situation report and vaccination update. After the break, research being done on Sargassum to use as fertilizer. And St. Peter's bus operators urged not to drink on the job. Stay with us.
Your safety and convenience are most important to us at Flow. That's why we provide many ways for you to keep your account connected, which now includes FastPay, the new convenient payment option on our website. No registration required. Or download the MyFlow app to pay anytime from anywhere on your smartphone or tablet. If you wish to pay your bill in person, feel free to visit any of our fully sanitized branches. Flow is committed to helping you stay connected. Let's do this together.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your national bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
Yo! You look like the dude who was shopping at Furniture and Appliances.
See, my friend, you look like you buy something from the Ashley Home Store.
How you know?
Because we get the cashback coupons and the free groceries for a year!
Cashback is back at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture. Shop now and get a chance to win free groceries for 1 year.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Agriculture is on the hunt to uncover more information to use Sargassum seaweed as fertilizer and animal feed. Mark Williams, Director of Marine Resources, during an interview on Monday, made the announcement and explained the history of Sargassum in the Federation while at Lynch's Bay.
Sargassum, as we know it, is seaweed that has been traditionally in the Federation that come here from the marine environment. The Sargassum that we see from 2012 onwards, person thought came from the Sargasso Sea, which is a body of water between Bermuda and Western Europe. However, satellite imagery has shown that the Sargassum within the Caribbean right now is coming from the sea between Brazil and West Africa.
He continued that most of the Sargassum that is in the Federation is a result of the increases in atmospheric temperatures as well as nutrient enrichment in the ocean.
Sargassum prior to 2012 acted like a fish aggregating device where fishers use it to catch mahi, skipjacks and other pelagics. However, what you see since 2012 is that the Sargassum seaweed is coming in a large abundance, which has prevent fishers from going to fish, as well as creating a lot of health issues for the communities that are affected by it.
Affected communities include Gingerland, Brickhill, New River, Newcastle in Nevis, and Frigate Bay, Keys, Cayon, Tabernacle, Sadlers, Parsons Ground, and Deep Bay in St. Kitts. Williams spoke about possible local uses for the seaweed.
From the Ministry of Agriculture's perspective, we are looking at it from the sense of fertilizer. We're going to remove some of it from the marine environment to create fertilizer.
Globally, Sargassum is being used for clothing, apparel, and medicine, while some countries use the seaweed to extract vitamins and minerals and prepare seaweed dishes. Mr. Williams, however, advised persons in the Federation to refrain from using the seaweed as food because it is high in arsenic. The St. Peter's Bus Association President Andrew Talbot Bass is urging bus operators to cease and desist from consuming mind-altering substances such as alcohol while on the job. He was speaking during ZIZ Radio's On the Road program on Wednesday. Bass said since he sent out the correspondence asking drivers to stop driving while under the influence, he has seen an improvement. He is asking drivers to take their jobs seriously because they can end up in prison should they cause an accident. Bass also encouraged the drivers to improve the quality of their service. A vehicle blessing ceremony was held at the Department of Agriculture on Wednesday, August 11th, to bless the department's new Toyota Hilux. Reverend Erickson Cumberbatch led the blessing of the vehicle with a special prayer that asked for the overall protection of the truck and its occupants. During the ceremony, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Ron Dublin Collins, officially handed over the vehicle keys to Acting Director in the Department of Agriculture, Dr. Tracy Challenger. While accepting the keys, Dr. Challenger said, quote, I thank the Ministry and Finance because this would not be possible without the collaboration of both institutions. The receiving of the vehicle is timely because it would allow us to expedite some of the projects that are ongoing at the department. I also admonish the drivers to take care of the vehicle because it is a scarce commodity. The pickup truck will be stationed at the recently relaunched Bayford's Livestock Center of Excellence and is expected to provide support to activities that will boost productivity in the center's breeding programs. Selwyn Cap Thomas was the recipient of a clock donated to him by ZIZ radio personality St. Clair Chico Gishad on Wednesday. Chico went to Cap's home at Market Street to present the clock to him, following a series of interactions where he would call ZIZ to find out the time. Chico said Mr. Thomas's reason for asking for the time prompted him to offer the clock to him.
He has been calling the station almost every single day and asking for the hospital. But every time he calls, I tell him that this is the station number and not the hospital. And from time to time, I will give him the hospital number, but he still keep calling back and asking for the hospital. So this last time he called me, he asked for the hospital number again, and I told him that this is the station number. And he said that he needed to know the time, because every time he called, he would ask me what the time was. So I keep giving him the time every single time he calls. So I was a little curious, so I asked him why he keep doing that. And then I asked him if he was blind, because, I just wondering like why he keep doing that. Maybe he, can't see and he just wanted to know the time. And then in inquiring about that, I found out that he didn't have a clock. And he said that he needed to know the time because he is on medication and he has to take his medication, I think it's every 4 hours.
He said he hopes this act of generosity will inspire others to assist persons in need.
And for those who know me, know that I hate being in the spotlight, I hate the cameras and so on, but I think a project like this is very important so that I could encourage others and motivate others to do likewise. So I said, you know what? I started thinking about it and I say, to avoid having one of our senior citizens call the station every single time and asking about the time and the hospital number, I said, why not go and purchase a clock for him so that he'll have the clock in his home and he'll know exactly the time when he's supposed to take his medication, as opposed to calling the station and the hospital every single time. So in that way, he'll be able to take his medication on time.
Mr. Thomas thanked Chico for the donation, which he said will essentially save his life.
Chico, I appreciate it because I will be able to take my tablet in time to save my life, and I appreciate it 100%. Thank you, Mr. Chico.
Chico is the host of the Jump Off Show, which airs from 3 to 8 p.m. on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM from Monday to Thursday, and the Off the Hook Show from 8 p.m. on Fridays. Coming up, Brazil Congress votes against return to paper ballots. The details when we come back.
Yo! You look like the dude who was shopping at furniture and appliances.
See, my friend, you look like you buy something from the Ashley Home Store.
How you know?
Because we get the cashback coupons and the free groceries for a year!
Cashback is back at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture. Shop now and get a chance to win free groceries for 1 year.
And we're moving now to news on the regional scene. Brazil's Congress has voted against a return to paper ballots at next year's presidential election. The move is a major blow for President Jair Bolsonaro. He has been pushing to end electronic voting, claiming it is open to fraud, although he has not provided any evidence. Bolsonaro is threatening to reject next year's result unless the system is changed. Al Jazeera's Monica Yannicka reports from Rio de Janeiro.
Armored vehicles rolled in front of Brazil's Congress as lawmakers were preparing for a crucial vote. They were debating a proposal backed by President Jair Bolsonaro to change the electronic voting system to paper ballots ahead of next year's elections. Chances of approving the constitutional amendment were already slim. The military parade made them slimmer. Bolsonaro's opponents and even some of his supporters accuse the president of putting the tanks on the street to intimidate the lawmakers and say he was threatening democracy once more.
Since the first day in power, President Bolsonaro has been progressively destroying Brazil's democracy. It was time to stop him, and we just did, by rejecting the proposal to change the voting system.
Digital ballots have been successfully used in Brazil since 1996, but Bolsonaro has repeatedly said they are not to be trusted, especially after recent polls show him losing next year's election to former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Bolsonaro's supporters took to the streets to back his unfounded claims that the 2022 presidential race will be rigged unless paper ballots are used. Congress put an end to this debate, at least for now.
Analysts here say that Bolsonaro has been following in the footsteps of former U.S. President Donald Trump by casting doubt on the elections that he may lose. And they believe he'll continue to do so. Monica Yanaki of Al Jazeera, Rio de Janeiro.
In Jamaica, an arrest 7 minutes after curfew allegedly resulted in two brothers with dreadlocks being beaten during apprehension. This incident happened exactly a week after the viral video emerged of a 19-year-old's locks allegedly being cut by the police. The incident has further infuriated some Rastafarians lobbying for fair treatment and freedom to practice their religion. Here's more.
Tensions are high between members of the Rastafari community and the police after two graduates of the University of the West Indies were taken into custody by the police in Brownstown, St. Anne, 7 minutes past 8 for breaking the Disaster Risk Management Act. The two men, 27-year-old Justine and 29-year-old Javon Collum, say they were waiting for a ride when two officers allegedly approached them, saying it is beyond the curfew hours.
The only thing I said is, if I'm going up to the station, you do not need to grab me or pull me. I will walk up there myself.
That's what he said.
That's all.
When I saw them pressing up my brother, even after he made that statement, I went over there and said, what I do? I was immediately pepper sprayed and I felt myself thrown onto the ground.
One of the brothers say they were also threatened by particular police who allegedly told them they would be put into a cell, quote, where a known criminal will beat and rape them, end quote.
Because I was saying if they could escort me outside to the door just to get some fresh air because of my heart problem and the fact that I couldn't breathe because of the pepper spray, nobody cared. They said I don't care. The police officer, the female who was checking my injuries, she told me to live on my own here because policewoman and Rasta have problem.
Alleged witnesses and bystanders managed to record an hour of the conversation, which in some instances was considered inappropriate. The mother, Rose Callum, who teaches at a prominent all-girls high school, says she is, however, thankful that her sons are alive, but she is demanding justice.
So many people were there. So why did you choose to approach those two guys? So as a mother, and with all these stories that has happened, the good thing about this is that my sons are still alive.
Paige Dixon, CVM Live.
Coming up, German nurse may have switched thousands of vaccine shots. Stay tuned.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy a life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Welcome back. Authorities in northern Germany appealed to thousands of people on Tuesday to get another shot of COVID-19 vaccine after a police investigation found that a Red Cross nurse may have injected them with a saline solution. More in this Reuters report.
More than 8,000 people in northern Germany were told to get another shot of their COVID-19 vaccine Tuesday after a police investigation found that a Red Cross nurse may have injected them with something else instead, a saline solution. The nurse is suspected of injecting salt solution into people's arms instead of genuine doses at a vaccination centre in Friesland in the early spring. While the liquid is harmless, most people who got vaccinated in Germany in March and April, when the suspected switch took place, are elderly and therefore at risk of catching the disease. Police investigator Peter Beer said that based on witness statements, there was a, quote, reasonable suspicion of danger. The nurse's motive was not clear, but police investigators said she had aired sceptical views about vaccines in social media posts. It was not immediately clear whether the suspect had been arrested or charged.
Health authorities in Guinea are monitoring 155 people who may have been in contact with a confirmed case of Marburg virus disease, a highly infectious hemorrhagic fever similar to Ebola. Here's more.
Health authorities in Guinea are monitoring 155 people who may have been in contact with a confirmed case of Marburg virus, a highly infectious hemorrhagic fever that's similar to Ebola. The World Health Organization says that it's believed to be the first case in West Africa, and it comes just 2 months after Guinea was declared free of Ebola. The region was the origin of the 2014-16 West Africa Ebola outbreak, which was the deadliest in history. It also saw a brief resurgence of Ebola this year. The WHO said Marburg had been circulating in animals, particularly bats, in southern Guinea and neighbouring Sierra Leone and Liberia. Pathogens have tended to cross from animals to humans in the region because of their close interaction, notably in the hunting and eating of bushmeat from the wild. Marburg and Ebola are closely related, and transmission between humans is usually through contact with blood or other bodily fluids. Marburg fatality rates in past outbreaks have varied from 24 to 88% of those infected. But Georges Kizerbo, the country's WHO head, said they were much better prepared to handle an outbreak.
There is no known secondary case apart from the first case confirmed. The contacts have been traced, and 155 people are under observation for 3 weeks to make sure that they did not come into contact with the virus.
He added that the discovery of the Marburg case also indicated improved ability to detect such infections.
Up next in sports, West Indies women to face off against South Africa, and Bonner and Blackwood named in West Indies squad for Pakistan test. Stay with us.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
First up in sports, West Indies women will be back in action in the coming weeks when they host South Africa women in an 8-match series in Antigua at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. ABS's Sharif Sargent reports.
Following the CG Insurance T20 Internationals and CG Insurance ODI wins over Pakistan in July, the West Indies women will now face the Proteas in 3 T20 Internationals and 5 one-day internationals. Ahead of the matches against South Africa, West Indies women will hold their third high-performance training camp this year under the guidance of head coach Courtney Walsh. as CWI have significantly increased investment in the West Indies women's preparations and in the women's game overall. The Windies women will use the CG Insurance ODI series as part of their preparations for the ICC Women's World Cup qualifiers as they look to secure a spot in the ICC Women's World Cup in New Zealand next year. The series will run from Tuesday, August 31 to Monday, September 19. Shreve Sargent, ABS Sport.
Vice Captain Jermaine Blackwood and Nkrumah Bonner have been named in the West Indies 17-member provisional squad for the two-test series against Pakistan beginning on Thursday at Sabina Park in Kingston. More in this TVJ Sports report.
Bonner returns to the squad after suffering a concussion in the first test against South Africa in June in St. Lucia. There is, however, no place in the squad for fast bowler Shannon Gabriel and middle order batsman Darren Bravo. West Indies lead selector Roger Harper says Gabriel is being given time to fully rehab and build his conditioning, while Bravo has been given a break. Meanwhile, head coach Phil Simmons says he expects a tough battle against the Pakistanis.
Tough battles with Pakistan, with any Pakistan team that comes to the Caribbean or we go there. So it is going to be another tough series. And as you said, they have won they've played very well in their last two test series and they're coming here on a high. Whereas we've played well in a couple test series and then the last test series we didn't play well. So even though we're home, we're a little bit of an underdog in this, but we know that we're going to try to put everything into it and make sure that we come out on top.
And the first test bowls off this Thursday at Sabina Park right here in Kingston.
And that's it for sports. When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines.
The Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris, wants to alert the public about fake Facebook and social media accounts that are circulating. These sites may look genuine, but they're not. These fake sites may use the Prime Minister's photo and name, but their only intention is to spread misinformation through false and scandalous information. Some of these pages are scams and will attempt to dupe you out of money. Do not trust them. You can find the real Prime Minister Harris on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by searching for his official handle, which is @PMHarrisKN. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages that claim to be the Prime Minister's but do not have PMHarrisKN right after the /, are fake accounts. These should be reported to the respective social media sites. You can also report fake social media accounts to presssec@gov.kn. That's PRESSEC@gov.kn. Facebook has verified Prime Minister Harris's official page by placing a white check mark inside a blue circle next to the Prime Minister's name, Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris. This blue circle appears just above @PMHarrisKN. Also, be alert. If the person claiming to be either the Prime Minister or another government official asks you for money through instant messenger, direct message, or any other means, this is a scam and not a real charity. This public service announcement was produced in order to help you be an informed social media user. Protect yourself and help spread the message.
And we're wrapping up with a recap of the top stories. St. Kitts and Nevis to receive another vaccine shipment on Thursday. Staff and residents of Her Majesty's Prison fully recovered from COVID-19, and St. Kitts Nevis moves forward to empower differently abled persons. And that's the end of the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Verridge. Goodbye.